As Governor Sheriff Oborevwori marks 2 years in office, his administration presents a mixed record of accomplishments and ongoing challenges. The Oborevwori administration has launched several programs aimed at alleviating the economic hardships faced by Deltans. Efforts have been made to provide financial aid and essential resources to households, with particular focus on women and families. Now, despite these welfare initiatives, Delta State continues to grapple with significant security issues.
Well, let's also tell you that reports indicate a surge in headsmen attacks, kidnappings, and court-related violence, especially in areas like Ughelli and Abraka. These incidents have triggered mass protests by residents and students demanding improved security measures. Meanwhile, talks continue regarding the governor's recent political shift. Well, you know what? Joining us to discuss these developments and the welfare of Deltans is the Director General of the Delta State Orientation and Communications Bureau, Dr. Fred Latimore Oghenesivbe. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Dr. Latimore, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so let's start off first by saying congratulations. It's been 2 years and counting. But before we proceed with our questions, I think we'd like to hear from you first how the people or Deltans have scored the governor. So far, so good.
The score is quite high, and you can see that the governor's performance is not something that is hidden; it's in the open, and that has attracted several awards that he has received in the past 2 years, being the Governor of the Year, Best Governor in Infrastructure, and also Best Governor in Good Governance. So all of these awards points to the fact that the governor has done extremely well, and Deltas are very happy. And you saw that when the governor addressed Deltans, when he presented his scorecard to the Delta State House of Assembly, and also at the Thanksgiving that we had in the state to thank God for the numerous achievements of this administration.
All right.
So in terms of health, yes.
While we talk about the numerous achievements of the state, we can't also kick aside some of the challenges in the state. The residents in Abraka have begun daily mass protests, we hear, over escalating insecurity in the university town. What is the governor's concrete plan to address this rising tension, and is a more aggressive security strategy being put in place to ensure that this is dealt with?
I think it was yesterday some residents came out to protest that they had security challenges in that Abraka axis of the state. And this challenge is not peculiar to Delta alone. I think it's something that has been on in the country from the south, from the northern part of the country to the eastern part, to the south and to the southwest. But in Delta, the governor has done tremendously in trying to curtail the excesses of these, insecurity by making sure that logistics are provided for, security agencies in the state. And not too long ago, he procured over 40 Halos vans for the security agencies in the state to fast track their activities and operations in the state, and that has yielded tremendous results. And the State Commissioner of Police and his team, they've been making several arrests and prosecuting criminals and some of these persons who want to cause insecurity in the state. But the one that happened yesterday at Abraka was quite unfortunate that some of these headsmen, they've started that activity. For a long time now, they've not been rearing their ugly heads. But I think the government is already on top of the matter. His Excellency and the state security agencies are on top of the issue, and it will soon be over.
Now, following the advent of the President Tinubu administration, the removal of subsidy and the floating of the naira has led to adverse effects for majority of Nigerians, and Deltans are not excluded. And I believe it's as a result of this that over 266,000 residents have reportedly benefited from various social intervention programs from the state government, including the Delta Cares Initiative and the Women Empowerment and Skill Acquisition Program, WESAP. While these figures, Honorable, appear quite impressive, are these initiatives truly reaching and transforming the lives of every Deltan? And what's the plan to scale up?
Tremendously. It's impacted positively. And that accounts for the popularity of His Excellency in the state. There's no part of Delta that you mentioned, Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, that you will not be impressed with the response of the people. The 266,000 persons that you just mentioned, they are doing quite well because the governor strategically ensured that those grants were, given to the people who actually will produce results. We targeted quite a number of them, especially those who already have small-scale businesses, and also young farmers who are already engaged in farming. So the monitoring team went around and to ensure that the funds we are giving out are given to the right people who will help to transform the state economy, and that is yielding positive results. The women program is working. The Working Fingers, there's another program we call the Working Fingers, where about 2,000 persons has also been empowered. We also have another one that is running with the State Bureau of Job and Wealth Creation, where we reach out to youth of Deltans directly by way of trying to assist them, in their small-scale businesses. And this is working, and His Excellency will continue to do this to empower people.
I also asked if there are plans to expand this safety net programs, these social programs, to capture more Deltans.
Sure. We have these programs in phases, and subject to His Excellency's kind approval, these phases are folding, incrementally. And in the near future, between now and the next 2 years, I'm sure a lot of Deltans will be captured under these various programs because it is the governor's directive that under the meaningful development of Delta State, a lot of reforms will take place, especially in the socio-economic remodeling of the state, to ensure that a lot of people are captured, in our empowerment programs, so that can drastically reduce poverty and to eradicate, and in fact, to take more of our youth from the streets and make them entrepreneurs. And these activities of the government in terms of economic empowerment will continue.
Okay, maybe we should talk about the pink elephant in the room. That's the defection of the governor, the former governor, and all the key leaders in Delta State. What is the response of the Delta citizens to the defection of the governor? So I have a twofold question, but I'll ask you one and then I'll ask you the other. So what is the reaction of the Deltans to the defection? Because the reason they have given is that they need to be connected to the center to be able to ensure that they make, they benefit from the center, that Delta State benefits from the resources or maybe the influence of the center. Do Deltans feel like this is representative of their thoughts and their desires?
After the defection, we changed our slogan, economic slogan, from more agenda to renewed hope for more agenda. And this is resonating already with the people. Everywhere in Delta, you hear people saying renewed hope for more agenda. And at the defection, I'm sure, your station covered the event. I know Osinazu is here with us. And you saw the turnouts of Deltans, at that very particular program. The political structure of Delta was captured from the ward level to the units to local government to state level. Everybody was involved. But you see, in all of this, you really cannot say that everybody in Delta, is involved, because we've had cases where some people have said, oh, they are not leaving the PDP, they are going to stay in PDP. PDP is the party that they know in Delta and all of that. But see, we are talking about the majority of Deltas here. And I can assure you that the majority of Deltans are with the governor. Just yesterday or so, the leadership of the APC in Delta State, led by the party chairman, Edda Sobotie, they were in government house to pledge loyalty and promise the governor of their full cooperation in moving the state forward. So as far as the defection is concerned, it's not history. Everywhere in Delta, on social media, everywhere, what you see is APC all over the place. In fact, I can safely assert that APC is now the main party in Delta, and we are sure that when 2027 comes, we'll be able to deliver His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Governor Oborevwori effectively and effortlessly in Delta State. Okay,
so the second part of the question about the defection is your concerns. I mean, you say now that you strongly believe the Delta State is already an APC state. Delta State has been a PDP stronghold for years. Are there concerns about PDP pushback? Do you think that at the next elections, PDP will be able to fight to regain its position? And do you think you're adequately prepared for PDP's pushback?
Pushback? Well, I don't know about that. I really don't know. Because right here in Delta, for example, I just told you that the entire state moved. I can say for sure that about 95% of politicians in Delta moved to the APC. And don't forget also that we also had APC on ground in the state before the defection of the governor and his team, and the entire structure that involves the councillors, members of the House of Assembly, National Assembly members, political appointees, in fact, pressure groups as well, political pressure groups, they all joined in the defection exercise. So as it is today, PDP pushing back. Well, of course, they will want to be the opposition party in the state, which is quite welcome. It's their right to do that. But in terms of winning election, for example, winning Delta in 2027, I think that is going to be a very Herculean task for the PDP or any other opposition party in the state.
Well, it seems like everybody is prepared for 2027, and that's the more reason why everyone is moving. Can you also share with us what people in Delta are saying, especially looking at the fact that you said 95% have moved? Some have speculated that this move is as a result of ensuring that the former governor, who is under the supervision of the anti-graft watchdog, the EFCC, can eventually gain his freedom. How true is this? Because he's a former governor, and now we see him in close ties with the current governor. Some persons are not, in short, politicians who are of the opposing party are not liking this relationship. And they're saying that it's as a result of the fact that one way to escape being caught by the anti-graft agency is to ensure that you move to the APC. How true is this?
I've said it over and over again, that in criminal jurisdiction, inviting somebody to a police station or to any anti-graft agency for questioning does not amount to guilt. Anybody can write petition against anybody. And the security agencies or the graft agencies are in their own assigned responsibilities must take up those petitions and investigate. They are bound to call anybody for questioning over any allegation. And when they find out that those allegations are porous and are not actionable, what they normally would do is to forget anything that has to do with that investigation, pending maybe in the future when there are other evidences to hold on to. Our immediate past governor, who is our leader, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, was invited by the EFCC. And at that time, he was away. He was not in the country. And when he came back, what he did was he personally drove down to the High Court to present himself to the anti-graft agency. They interrogated him and they asked him to go. And as we speak today, there is no action that has been filed against Governor Kowa in any court of law in this country.
Okay.
And until a competent court, until the court of competent jurisdiction says that somebody is guilty of an offense, it would be wrong for anybody to insinuate that somebody has committed an offense. So as far as we are concerned in Delta, this defection has nothing to do with anything anti-graft. It is the position taken by the leaders of the party and the entire structure that defected to the All Progressive Congress. And the closeness of Governor Kowa to Governor Sheriff, if you're in Delta here with us, maybe you could ask your correspondents, Austin Azu. Both of them have been, coming together for a long time politically and otherwise. And that unity between these two, great personalities cannot just be broken because one is now an ex-governor and the other one is a city governor. So their unity will continue, their friendship will continue, their collaboration will continue as far as we are concerned in Delta State.
Now, Honorable DG, we've reached the halfway mark of Governor Sheriff's administration, and there are 2 more years left. Are there current projects that we're waiting to see the completion of, and what should be the expectations of Deltas for the next 2 years? Are there also landmark legacy projects that are ongoing?
Yeah, I'm sure there will be a lot of more legacy projects, but those will be, announced by His Excellency himself at due time. But for now, I think we have, major infrastructure projects that are going on, which I tend to be mega projects. For example, the 3 flyovers in the state. The one at the GSC runabout, PTI Junction and NRA Junction. Those flyovers are gigantic. They are, in fact, it's every well-meaning Nigerian that have seen these projects, they always have given kudos to His Excellency the Governor. And those ones will be completed between now before the end of next year, and they will be commissioned. Another project again is the dualization of the 46-kilometer dualization of Oghenesivbe Expressway. That project has been hanging for so many years, but when His Excellency took over as the Governor of Delta State, it made it a point of duty that this project must be completed. And as I speak to you, about 90% of that project has been completed, and it will be commissioned in the next couple of months. And it's something that we are proud of in Delta. And there are several others, that are in the offing. And I'm sure that as we move along, His Excellency the Governor will inform Deltas about more of these mega projects that are coming up between now and 2027.
All right. I'd also like to ask if we have an update regarding the death of Shimite Bello, the former special advisor on trade and export to His Excellency the Governor of Delta State. Her family has demanded a full probe. They've alleged medical negligence. They're raising questions about the circumstances of her death. They're also accusing the Delta State Police of some measure of maybe negligence. So do we have an update regarding her death? And will this probe, are we expecting some clarity soon?
Let me say that Shimite Bello's death came to us as a very big shock. His Excellency the Governor felt it. Everybody were all down because that lady is one charming, beautiful, smart, intelligent woman that has really contributed immensely to the development of the state. She was in the previous administration and was also appointed as a special advisor by His Excellency Governor Sheriff Oborevwori. Her death is very painful, and that is all I can say for now. To comment on the issues around her death, that will be left for the law enforcement agencies. Because the last time I saw some publication on the social media, they did say that the matter, they are asking the Inspector General of Police to take over the investigation. And when matters are under investigation, it is not the best time to start to make unnecessary comments. So I think we should allow the police and other law enforcement agents to finish their investigation and address the public on what actually led to her death.
All right. Final question from my end would be looking at the president's 2 years in office. We've looked at the sub-national, of course, with our focus on Delta State. How would you mark the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration in 2 years? Many would say it's a no-brainer because you have moved, your principal has moved already to the ruling party, APC. So, of course, it's obvious that you're going to mark the current administration 100%. But can you share with us what aspects that you think the current and ruling administration is doing well and where they're not doing well?
I think that the policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is for the best interest of this country. If you look at the issue of removal of fuel subsidy, which has been a very big problem in this country, you will thank Mr. President. Because in the past, we are aware that there are some persons who were benefiting tremendously from this fuel subsidy. And we also learned that some young people who have no business with even importation were buying private jets. But today, such monies are now being channeled to the states, and that is why you see that most of these states today, they are embarking on mega infrastructure projects in their respective states and spreading social, economic benefits to their people. So I think that although we cannot completely eradicate the sufferings that come with fuel subsidy. Of course, yes, all of us, we are affected because, it also made inflation up. But you see, economic reforms all over the world, in Singapore, China, around the world, if you read the history of economic reforms, you will discover that some of it will come with some pains for, a period of time, and that's what Nigerians are going through at the moment. You can also see that when the first subsidy was removed initially, the price of petrol was between 1,600 to 2,000 and all that. It has dropped to about 901 naira and 890 naira. So our appeal to Mr. President is that he should ensure that the refineries in the country are working, and then also that the Dangote refinery should also be allowed to operate efficiently, so that when both are pumping fuel into the country, the prices of petrol can drop drastically. That is on one side. On the other one, you can see the mega, infrastructure project that Mr. President is also doing. That will also facilitate, transportation of goods and services, and also promote tourism. I think 2 days ago or thereabout, he commissioned the Lagos Calabar, mega road project, and there are other ones in the offing, in the north, in the south, in the west. And I think that all of this put together with the kind of social welfare packages he has for Deltans, transferring money to the vulnerable people in this country and the poor people, and also with the scholarship program, with the grants for students, vulnerable students who are nowhere to do, giving them the opportunity to access federal funds to continue their education. And I think all of these are good indications that Mr. President means well for the country. So my take is that, we are facing a lot of economic challenges at the moment as a result of the policies of this administration. But I do know that in the near future, it shall be well with all of us, and things will come back to normal.
Well, we certainly do want things to return to normal for the whole of the country. But before we wrap up, I think my final question would be regarding the people of Owa Igbo Kingdom. 50 indigenes, or at least 50 indigenes, have taken to protest, and they've petitioned the governor. They're claiming that their ancestral lands are being sold to wealthy investors. They're saying their farmlands being turned into luxury apartments, and they've said that the Obi, who is His Royal Majesty Emmanuel Ife-Izomo II, he's the one overseeing the sale of the communal land, and they are petitioning the governor to step in and ensure that this is rectified so they don't lose their inheritance to what should have been for their children to wealthy people. Do we have, I don't know if you're aware about this and can give us further details on this.
I really don't have much details about this. Land issues are they are very complex issues. You don't just delve into a matter that pertain to land, except you have the history of that community, except you have the history of the people in that community and how they've been cohabiting or coexisting. So issues of land is very complex, and I don't want to delve into that.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you
very much, Director General of Delta State's Orientation and Communications Bureau, Dr. Fred Latimore Oghenesivbe. Thank you for your time with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And we wish the Delta State indigents, all Deltans, wish the best. I know Benga is looking at me because I'm a Deltan as well. We're looking forward to the best for our state.